Before we start today's video, I just want to let you know you can get your free ebook today and save $8. Simply subscribe and visit denmarkexplained.com/free to download your exclusive copy, packed with insights, tips, and stories you cannot find anywhere else. It is our way of saying thank you for joining our community. Do not miss out. Click that subscribe button and start exploring today. Let us get into the video. Denmark just made a bold move, banning all gambling ads during live sports broadcasts. No betting logos before the game, none during halftime, and none after the final whistle. But why would one of the world's most liberal countries suddenly draw this hard line? Lawmakers say it's about protecting young people, shielding them from the constant pull of gambling commercials that blend into the excitement of every match. But is this about public health or political image? Behind Denmark's calm and modern image, a silent crisis has been growing. Gambling addiction is on the rise, and public patience has finally snapped. In this story, we'll uncover what led to this groundbreaking ban, how it changes life for sports and fans, and what it tells us about Denmark's deep sense of responsibility toward its people.
Sustainability and green energy. Viking heritage. Welfare system. New Nordic food. Welcome to Denmark Explained, your front row seat to the hidden gems, quirky traditions, and powerful stories that make Danish culture truly unforgettable.
Let's start with what actually happened. Overnight, Denmark's lawmakers agreed on one of the toughest restrictions the gambling industry has ever seen. A complete whistle-to-whistle ban on all gambling commercials during live sports broadcasts from 10 minutes before kickoff to 10 minutes after the final whistle. It's a bold step, and it shocked both fans and advertisers. Well, what pushed them to take such a drastic decision? Was it public pressure, political will, or something deeper about how Denmark sees itself as a nation that protects its people first? Let's break it down. Over the past few years, gambling ads on TV have surged by 70%. Can you imagine seeing all those betting commercials during your favorite sports? Almost 500,000 adults are struggling with gambling issues. This law aims to protect these vulnerable groups. From 10 minutes before a game starts until 10 minutes after it ends, betting ads will simply disappear. TV channels and sports leagues are already adjusting, preparing for this major shift in advertising. Of course, betting companies are worried this will affect their revenue. This is a huge financial change for the industry. Health advocates are cheering the law, calling it a big step toward protecting society. The Minister of Taxation described it as a huge step in reducing harmful gambling habits. For sports fans, this means uninterrupted matches, no constant betting commercials. A broad majority in Parliament agreed. This law has strong political support. The law isn't in effect yet, but everyone is preparing for its launch next year. Not only TV, streaming platforms are included too, protecting viewers across the board. After years of public concern over rising gambling addiction, Denmark is finally taking strong action. To understand this decision, we need to rewind a bit, because this didn't happen overnight. It's the result of years of debate, political promises, and growing public frustration. Gambling used to be a small part of entertainment, but soon it exploded into every screen, every sport, every moment of excitement. The question became impossible to ignore. When does fun turn into harm? And how did Denmark go from a relaxed attitude toward betting to one of Europe's strictest advertising bans? Let's find out. Denmark's fight against gambling addiction has deep roots. For decades, politicians and citizens have debated how to protect people from betting harm. These debates have been going on for years. Every new law sparked questions. How far should the state go to protect its citizens? As sports broadcasts became filled with betting commercials, public concern exploded. Families started worrying about the impact on children. Health organizations began lobbying hard for stricter rules, warning that gambling addiction was becoming a silent epidemic. There had been smaller restrictions before, but they didn't work. The ads kept coming, and the problem kept growing. Studies revealed something alarming. Young people were the most influenced by these ads. That triggered national concern. The rise of online betting made it even easier to gamble. Suddenly, anyone could place a bet from their phone in seconds. Denmark's relaxed attitude toward gambling started to clash with the rising number of addiction cases. Could the culture of freedom to choose go too far? Other countries, like the UK, had already introduced similar bans. Lawmakers saw that and realized Denmark needed to act too. The media played a big role. Investigations and documentaries showed how deep the gambling problem had become. Finally, consensus was reached. Protecting vulnerable people had to come first. Policymakers accepted that mild measures weren't enough anymore. That realization led to the bold decision we see today. So, what do you think? Should governments step in to protect people from the dangers of gambling, or should it be up to each individual to decide?
Planning a trip to Denmark? Or maybe you're moving there soon? Don't just Google your way through it. Let DenmarkExplained.com be your shortcut to a smoother, smarter, and way more fun experience. At DenmarkExplained.com/products, you'll find itineraries, ready-made plans that turn confusion into unforgettable days. eBooks, packed with local insights, cultural tips, and everyday know-how. No boring history lessons, just stuff that actually helps. Expat guides, moving to Denmark? Get the info you wish someone told you before you landed. Everything's digital, everything's simple, and everything's designed to make Denmark feel less confusing and way more cozy. So skip the stress and get the guides that explain Denmark clearly, cleverly, and in plain English. Check it out now at DenmarkExplained.com/products. Your trip, our tips. Let's make it amazing.
If you're enjoying this video, then consider to help us out and hit like, subscribe, and share this video. Remember, you can buy our ebooks on DenmarkExplained.com/products or click the link in the description. So what's the situation right now? The ban is in motion and everyone is reacting. The government, the sports world, and the gambling industry. Some celebrate it as a victory for social responsibility, while others warn it could hurt sponsorships and media revenue. But how are Danes themselves feeling about this change? Is this really protecting the vulnerable? Or just creating new problems in disguise? Let's take a closer look at how this bold move is reshaping Danish life today. So, what exactly does this new Danish ban mean? First of all, it covers all gambling ads on TV, radio, and streaming platforms. Even in sponsorships during live sports are gone. That means no more betting logos flashing during football matches or on players' shirts. The law doesn't stop there. It also targets influencers who promote gambling online. That's a big change for social media marketing. Platforms like YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok are included too, so viewers won't be bombarded with betting offers before videos. Gambling companies are now required to reduce their ad spending drastically. It's not just about where, but how much they advertise. Only licensed operators can still promote responsible gambling messages. Ads must now focus on awareness, not temptation. And if a company breaks the rules, they risk massive fines and even losing their license altogether. Streaming services like Viaplay and Netflix must now filter gambling ads for Danish users, a technical but necessary step. Even stadiums are affected. Sports clubs can no longer display gambling banners, boards, or LED ads during matches. You also won't see live betting odds pop up during football or handball broadcasts anymore. Those days are over. Unlike older restrictions, this ban runs 24/7. No more safe zones or exceptions during certain times of the day. Ultimately, the goal is simple: make gambling less visible in everyday life and protect people before addiction begins. And now the big question. What comes next? Will this ban actually reduce addiction or simply push gambling into new digital spaces? Could Denmark become a model for Europe or a cautionary tale for overregulation? In the coming years, technology habits and politics will decide how this story ends. But one thing is clear. Denmark has once again chosen responsibility over risk. So what does that say about the country's values and its vision for the future? Let's explore. Most Danes actually support the gambling ad ban. Many feel it was long overdue and finally protects vulnerable players. Surveys reveal that over 70% of citizens back the ban, a rare moment of national agreement on a social issue. Parents say they're relieved. Finally, their kids won't see betting messages during football or YouTube videos. Health experts have praised the move, calling it a huge win for public mental health and addiction prevention. But not everyone is happy. Sports clubs are divided because many relied on sponsorships from betting companies. Athletes have voiced concern too. Without gambling sponsors, smaller teams may struggle to stay afloat. Gambling companies argue the ban will cause job losses and push players toward unregulated foreign sites. Critics fear the ban could backfire, driving people toward illegal offshore sites that don't follow Danish rules. Economists, however, believe the long-term social benefits far outweigh the short-term financial pain. Even media outlets that lose advertising income admit the cause is right and aligns with Denmark's values. Other Nordic countries are now watching closely to see if Denmark's model will work. It might inspire similar bans. For many, this law is just another example of Denmark's tradition, protecting its citizens while leading by example. So, Denmark has drawn a clear line in the sand. A whistle-to-whistle ban on gambling ads during live sports, a move to protect its people, its values, and its future. We've seen how rising addiction, public frustration, and political pressure all came together to create this bold new law. But this story is bigger than sports or gambling. It's about how far a society will go to protect its citizens in a world driven by profit and temptation. If you found this investigation eye-opening, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into how Denmark really works. And if you want to explore more stories about life, culture, and values in Denmark, click the playlist on the right and continue the journey with us on Denmark Explained.